What do you think of our performance against the mighty Chelsea?
I don't.
Me or him?
It wasn't terrible. But
So it's him.
I don't think we were that bad. I think we're actually all right.
I think a draw is a fair result.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
We did miss a couple chances, though, the more I look
So
at
did
it.
they. And yours were offside, so I'm not having that.
I thought it was going to be a draw prior.
I think everyone thought there was going to be a draw, no?
I went Chelsea. But deep down, I thought it was going to be a draw. Yeah. I just did it to annoy you.
I put 2-2 in my predictions.
There were very large periods of that game where literally nothing happened.
Yeah, and I just think, I don't think it's a bad result. I don't think it's as bad as it's been made out.
Do you think Palmer looked a little bit off it? Do you think he was carrying a knock?
I mean, I think it was obvious he was injured, but I still think he played all right.
He's involved in a lot of things. He just couldn't really...
He had the shot with
make anything out of it.
like a minute in that Raya had to save. There was a lot of balls that he created and put through for people. It was just his final little bit wasn't coming off for him. But
his touch was slightly off.
Just in like
lacking a bit of match sharpness.
I don't think that. I don't know. Sometimes it happens, doesn't it? Like, not everyone... Saka had that midweek against Inter. He was just a little bit, just wasn't coming off for him. But
it looks like they're both pulling out the England squad as well.
They have done.
Yeah, they have
I
done.
hope so.
Yeah, it's for the greater good, really, isn't it?
Odegaard was good though. Good to see him. You've missed him a lot.
He was very good.
He was just good in general. He's pressing everything. He's just like.
I know he only scored one goal.
He's a huge miss, and he really.
Yeah. We created more than we had done in previous games.
For sure. And a lot was him. Him and Saka finally had a bit more space to create more. But
I think their chemistry actually isn't replicable by any other two people on the pitch. Like the Odegaard-Saka link.
Yeah, 100%.
They totally get it. And Ben White as well, actually. That right side, that when they're cooking now, are actually very good, to be honest.
What do you think of Arteta's comments after the game? If you didn't know what they are, guys, who's listening...
I mean, he's wrote delusional, but I disagree with that.
It was fucking delusional.
He said we dominated them, we were the better team. I think he's just a manager back.
I don't think he's delusional. I think he's chosen to say that because he's trying to instill confidence in his players.
Well, no, he's lying to them, though. That's another way to improve Arsenal by saying you dominated that when you very much didn't.
Managers do shit like this all the time.
Yeah,
no,
it's not
it doesn't matter about
delusion.
it doesn't matter about anything else. If he's saying they dominated that game, he's categorically wrong in what he's saying.
Here's a question: do you think Premier League football managers are above average intelligence?
Yes.
So don't you think that was an intended saying?
I think he's an emotional guy who says things.
No, he's not.
He is very emotional. The guy's fucking doing a Louis Van Gaal on the
it's
side.
all like a
Louis Van Gaal.
Louis Van Gaal.
All the media's all a facade. It's all playing. It's all.
Yeah.
He's never going to come out and say, "I'm actually a bit disappointed that we didn't like." He's not going to say that.
How
what
often
he
do
should
managers
say.
lie about the fitness and injuries of their players?
This is different.
This is different. I think you should be honest and you should be saying, "Yeah, we weren't performing our best there."
Why
You lost to Inter, then you're saying, "Yeah, we can go beat Chelsea based off that performance," and then you did shit against Chelsea. And you're saying you dominated.
They lie all the time. It's just part of the game.
Criticize him. Why are you so protective? Why can't you admit that he's
level-headed?
the fucking bad one?
It's just an unbiased analysis. When does Eddie Howe ever come out and go, well, we sat in and shithoused them for the full game?
So why when Ten Hag talked all this shit, he's like, this guy's mental. When Arteta does it, he's always a genius. He's thinking on a different wavelength.
No one said that.
Ten Hag was equally as delusional as Arteta, and he was sacked.
No,
Yes, he was.
The thing with Ten Hag was Ten Hag he couldn't take any. No one criticised Arteta. They just asked him about the game.
But also, that's not even remotely comparable because Ten Hag famously didn't have like an outright philosophy that people could understand and patterns of play, etc. Arteta quite clearly has imprinted his ideas onto the Arsenal.
Okay, here's a question, not leading. But do you know when Bielsa came and like Leeds sort of took the league by storm, took people by surprise with a pattern of play, but then all of a sudden they were sort of figured out and then they did shit. Have Arsenal simply just been figured out now?
A bit like Tottenham.
No, I don't agree with that.
Have Arsenal been figured out?
Well, we are still sat, fourth, third in the league?
That's not good enough for you. Or is this your level?
No.
Why are you doing right now?
I'm asking you, have you been figured out? Use it on your worst bit of form since this new sort of era of Arsenal sort of competing. So we're going to criticise Man City for losing.
Luke, if you look at our away matches, right? Have you seen this? If you looked at Arsenal's away matches, barring Bournemouth, which is pretty poor,
Bournemouth's a tough place to go.
You know, it is. You shouldn't be losing.
I don't want to be pulling out excuses because obviously that's just quintessential Arsenal fan behaviour. But after we play Nottingham Forest next game, we've played 11 out of the top 12 teams.
But the thing about this is right, which is the reason it's such a stupid analysis. A lot of those teams in the top 12 are in the top 12 because they beat you. Or got points against you. You get like Bournemouth are in there because they beat you,
and City and other teams as well. Remember?
No, but I mean, a lot of
playing well consistently throughout the season. Though,
yeah,
no.
But the point,
a lot of these teams, right? So what you're saying is like points to them.
Agree and disagree. The reason why I disagree is because the teams below 12 are there because they're actually pretty bad.
Yes.
So if we're yet to play those.
Well,
theoretically, hopefully, we could.
Yeah, I mean,
you didn't use this logic. You're switching your logic now.
I'm not.
The logic was you always have to play everyone once.
Yeah, of course. You have to play every team twice in the Premier League. That's how it works.
13th to 3rd, there is 4 points.
Like if we're being honest,
but what I'm saying is, there are teams there that you would think they are guaranteed 3 points. I know it's never guaranteed 3 points in the Premier League, but. Statistically, Arsenal have a higher chance of going on a good little run now because they're playing the worst of teams.
Yeah, but also
you got played. So I don't know your excuses then.
Your barrier of expected 3 points is bigger than half the table, though.
What?
I'm saying like you sit on about like the guaranteed 3 points. Arsenal's parameter for that is bigger than just the bottom half of the table. It should be really the top 2/3 should be the 3-pointers for Arsenal.
I don't agree with that.
I think definitely.
Wait, what?
I'm saying so he's saying the bottom half teams are like the guaranteed 3 points, but I'm saying Arsenal is so good that with Man City challenging at the top, what their guaranteed 3 points should extend to about the teams 8th and below,
Luke,
9th and below.
Let me read you who we played in the top. Then we beat Villa away. We drew at City away. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we lost to Bournemouth, which is not a good result.
That should be a guaranteed 3, for example.
But you can say that about City, man. We played against Bournemouth.
I'm not talking about City yet, but I'm just saying that Bournemouth should be a guaranteed 3 for Arsenal.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
I think it is.
Do you know what I find funny about the narrative?
I don't think a team like Bournemouth away from home is a guaranteed 3 points for anyone
especially
in the league.
With 10 men, by the way.
Yeah, and also that's been proven by the fact that the teams they've beaten at home this season.
The narrative of you saying Arsenal should be beating Bournemouth away at Bournemouth with 10 men is crazy.
Yeah, but that's your own doing. That's your own stupidity. There's so many big moments that you have slipped up. Even that with Trossard miss at the end. There's lots of big moments that have happened.
That happened
in the season.
That was offside, to be honest.
You're falling by like all of them. Like that red card was your own team's fault. You had 3 red cards in like 3 games. It was all your team's fault.
I don't get what your point is.
I'm saying you can't reference that as a reason that you lost when it was your team that did it.
No, but the reason we lost.
You're using the argument that Chelsea are a bad team. They're probably going to finish top 4, mate. That's not a bad point.
What?
I know
I've never said Chelsea were a bad team.
You've put in the prep doc that we drop points.
You did drop points.
We've gained 1 points. Really, if you look at it differently.
I don't think that's a bad point yesterday at all.
Neither do I.
I think you're being harsh.
I feel like I have a different standard for Arsenal. I'm saying in the position you're in now. If you're in the position now that you are, where you've messed up in the past, you have to make it up somewhere. You can't just do how you would have done.
We understand
that.
We understand that, but their point is. Now they have got all the hard fixtures away pretty much in terms of away games or whatever. Yeah. They now have a nice little run where other teams like Liverpool may finally start dropping points.
Yeah, exactly.
This is their time to gain back on the failures of the first quarter of the season, which Arsenal, let's be honest, 5 wins, 4 draws and 2 losses in the first is not good enough for Arsenal. But now Arsenal could go on. I mean, they've done it before. They could go on a 10-game run now where they win 8 or win 9. Like, I think that's their point.
Lewis is trying to install this idea that we are in catastrophe and this crisis and we should sack Arteta. But realistically, that's not the case.
I agree. The way I see it is
if
you drop points to a team that you shouldn't, you make it up somewhere else.
You've been told there, pal.
What did he say?
So you got to stay level-headed.
Yeah.
No, it's like the same way we drop points that we shouldn't have, but then we made them up against you, and that balances out.
Yeah, you're 8th.
But then if we drop
only 1 point,
1 point off the
Arsenal. You're 8th. Like you're making out like don't act like you're the fucking blueprint for our team.
I'm not. I'm using it as an example. That Arsenal win makes up for points that we dropped against teams we shouldn't have dropped points against. It's the same for Arsenal. You drop points against teams you shouldn't. You need to make that up somewhere.
No, but you're acting like Chelsea is a team that we shouldn't drop points against. I'm not sure that's fair.
I'm saying that's an opportunity for you to make up for the loss against Bournemouth by getting a good win at Stamford Bridge that you shouldn't necessarily get. That's what I'm saying.
That's so harsh.
But it's
a good point on the road, isn't it?
I think it just...
Well, no, if you want to win the league, that's what you have to do. It's simple as that. Otherwise, you're going to sit in second all your life and celebrate that.
Chelsea are third.
I don't know.
That's what I mean. But those are the games that you can make up for the mistakes.
If you pick up 3 points against like the
what I'm saying is
worst teams.
He said, right, Chelsea are the games that we should be picking up these extra points.
Yeah, you can make up for your mistakes.
I would argue that Chelsea is not really the game where we should be targeting to make up the points, is what you're saying.
No, you've already let ground slip against teams that you shouldn't have. So if you're going to gain back that ground, you have to make it up against teams that you would have planned for a draw.
Forest, West Ham, United, Fulham, Everton, Palace. Palace, Ipswich. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we can claw back.
I don't think
but that's not going to gain you ground on Liverpool.
With Odegaard's first game back yesterday, and like
big difference.
big difference. I think that was a decent performance. It was a better performance and a better result for Arsenal. Like they were, you could say, a bit unlucky with a few of it, like the offside goal. On a different day, they win that game. Okay, they did, and whatever. But now they need, like, if you got next week, you've got to go and win next week.
Yeah,
you've got to go and win next week. You've got to go to West Ham and win. I want Arsenal to win the next 5.
Yeah. The issue we have is that you remember last year around Christmas time when we dropped 3 games in a row, we lost against, like, was it West Ham,
Fulham,
Liverpool.
Yeah.
These next few games are pretty critical in terms of we have to win these games, because if we drop points against Forest and West Ham again,
Arsenal should.
You always find how the climate of the Premier League actually plays out in like December time anyway, because the amount of congestion.
The Premier League I don't think you should lose until the
New Year.
The New Year. You shouldn't be definitely not losing, because your games are Forest, West Ham, United, Fulham, Everton, Palace.
Arsenal at home to United again in December, and then Wednesday.
Oh no, that's the EFL.
In the Cup, yeah.
And Ipswich, and then Brentford on New Year's Day. You should be winning a majority of them. And if you don't, then you are. I still think it's too big of a gap already, but we'll see. We'll see.
But bigger gaps, have been clawed back.
Yeah.
No team has had. Let me just double check. Yeah, no team has had a 5-point lead after 11 games and not won the title.
So you're saying Liverpool have won the title?
I'm not saying that.
What was Arsenal's lead at Christmas?
I don't know, but
quite heavy, wasn't it?
Whatever it was, you threw it away. But
Liverpool had 14 at once.
No, but I'm saying after 11 games.
No, I know.
So, Tom, are you saying that if Liverpool don't win the league, it'll be the biggest bottle job in the history of the Premier League? Is that what you're saying? Because it sounds awfully like to me.
I'm definitely not
exactly
saying
what you're
that.
saying.
I'm definitely. They've bottled things worse than this.
Yeah.
Not at all.
It's never been done before, though, what you're saying, if they did bottle it.
I know, but it's also a bit of a niche stat, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's only 11 games.
I'm only playing devil's advocate.
No, I understand what you're doing, but you're just not going to get the bite out of me that you want.
Already got it just there, buddy. Anyways, speaking of Arsenal versus Man United on the 4th of December, Wednesday night kickoff. Man United with Almiron.
Who? Almiron. Miguel Almiron.
That's a strange
new manager of United.
But before you go into that, should we not talk about City's also huge...
we'll touch on them in a minute.
Well, it's relevant to the title race with Arsenal, isn't it, and Liverpool?
Yeah,
you go to Man United.
United aren't really in the fucking title race.
I'll cut all that out then, Lou. I'll start again. I thought I was going to do a separate clip for City, but it's up to you. What you do with the edit, it's fine.
Keep going.
Okay. But anyways, guys, Arsenal weren't the only team to drop points, I guess.
So you are saying you drop points?
No, I'm referring to what Lewis said.
Don't give him affirmation. Just
you did drop points. You did drop points.
There it is.
You need to raise your standards.
Lost.
You need to raise your standards.
Should you have beaten Chelsea at Stamford Bridge? Or are your standards low enough?
We just beat them in the League Cup. We beat you as well.
Oh, fucking hell,
you can't, you can't be giving it the big and to us. We ruined your title race. I understand the animosity.
No, man,
but it's your fault, not ours.
You can't flip it back when you lost to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
We beat you.
How is that fucking relevant to what I said?
You support Arsenal, I support Newcastle, and we beat you.
Don't give them the... Don't.
He is right.
It is right. We ruined your The reason you're in this catastrophe is because we pounded you about St James's Park 2 seasons in a row.
I thought it was Bournemouth. No?
Don't you forget?
Replying.
Don't you forget?
Eventually.
I don't think he will.
Just unplug him. City... In the first half against Brighton, looked good.
So they did in midweek as well.
Do you know what I mean?
Haaland should have scored 3.
Second half, completely different game.
Yeah,
I want to know what that halftime team talk was, because
are they
good?
Are they?
Are they washed?
But also,
no. Are they tight? Are they aging or like what's going?
Don't know.
I heard that on commentary. The commentator kept talking about this aging City squad, but I don't know if I agree with it.
No, I think what I mean by
Simpson Pusi.
I mean,
and he's what, 19?
Yeah, Kyle Walker's old.
And also, I don't want to
Brian.
If other teams had the amount of injuries City have got, there'd be so many excuses, and you don't hear it ever with City. It's always, oh my God, what's going? They've got so many injuries.
They do have a lot of injuries, but it's also because their
big players as well.
Their depth is crazy though, which is
it's not that crazy, is it?
It is pretty good.
It's good, but you're like,
do you know what I mean? It's
they have the biggest injury in the Premier League to their squad though. Like
they're missing the best player in the league and
the world,
and many others.
But also, this isn't just a fluke for Brighton, right? Because they've won every game they've never dropped points where they've conceded first.
Like
the only team in the league.
City have only lost one game from scoring first, and that was 2 games. Do you know
really?
that?
And I think that's the only game that Haaland's lost where he scored in as well.
Since 2021 or something, apparently.
Stones, Diaz, Rodri, that's their 3 biggest defensive assets, really, isn't it?
De Bruyne as well.
Well, De Bruyne's not fully fit either. Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. Do you know what I mean?
What do you think the issue is with City then, Tom? The Oracle?
Phil looks a little off it as well, actually.
I think the sooner he gets Gundogan and Walker out the team, the better, for one.
Oh, really?
Walker's, mate, he's so...
Gundogan as well, interesting.
Gundogan's not the same player, mate. I think there's a reason Barca weren't too bothered, but... Kovacic was excellent first half.
He's been good. He's been good all season.
Yeah, but...
Second half, they just switched off. Haaland missed a few opportunities.
And I feel bad for that Simpson Pusey. I just don't think he's ready from what I've seen. Nunez isn't a winger. He's decent, but he's not a winger. Foden
it's a lot of
the same. He doesn't look like he's come back fully fit.
It's a lot of plastering over holes that need to actually be filled.
But they're not even like, I don't know.
What do you think with Haaland?
They're not as like what's the word? Like they're just not as ratty as they was before. I don't know. That might be a mentality thing as well.
I was just going to touch on that. It could be the desire of lack of. Yeah, where it's like
when shit gets on top, it's like
we've done it before.
Yeah.
Also, they look so gettable in the defence. Like when was the last time they kept a clean sheet, City?
I actually don't know.
I genuinely don't know.
In transition, they so easily get out.
Well, they've got 2 this season, so it's obviously.
It should have
Southampton.
They should have.
I mean,
they could have lost that game 5-1 in the second half.
Yeah, they conceded like 2.5 XG.
But first half, with Haaland racking up this insane XG, he was always known for being pretty, like when he's one-on-one with a keeper, like he's going to score, right? He's pretty clinical. But why is he underperforming?
Well, he horrendously overperformed to the start of the year.
Do you think it will balance out towards the end of the season?
It does. No, it has balanced out quite by definition at this point. It has balanced out almost exactly.
This is like what I was trying to say to you about before when you were saying he's the best finisher ever and he's like God's creation.
I literally didn't say that.
And he's like, no, he can never miss a chance.
Historically in his career, he is overperforming still. But this season alone...
He almost missed the chance he scored.
Yeah. Haaland, he gets in so many good positions. Naturally, you're going to miss chances because he has it's impossible to score all those chances.
But he's one of the few players in the world that could get into that position originally.
Exactly.
It's a tough one because even though he's not, I know he scored, but he's underperforming his XG right now. But at Spurs, he could go get.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is. I think he's overperforming.
Who's a better finisher, Haaland or Ruud van Nistelrooy?
Definitely Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Are you joking?
Surely Haaland.
After the conversation we had the other month.
Is that a troll? I'm not in on the joke then.
When we had Joe in and he was like, Haaland's the best finisher ever in the Premier League.
I literally didn't say that.
You did?
It was a specific argument between Ruud and Erling.
And you said... and you said Erling?
He's off the back of scoring back-to-back hat-tricks.
So now you're saying Ruud?
No, I still think it's Haaland.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But nostalgia merchants.
Pardon?
Fuck! Nostalgia merchants.
He is a ruthless goal scorer, but at the moment he just doesn't seem to be converting everything that he gets. That's the difference. At the start of the year, he'd get 3 chances and they all go in. Whereas this time he gets 3 and he gets 1.
Yeah.
That's the...
Look, I think they'll be fine.
I think they'll be fine.
Think they win the league?
No.
I think they do, yeah.
Do you still?
Yeah, I know obviously Rodri's out, so it's a very different landscape for them.
All season.
No, I know that part, but Pep is... for a reason, the best manager in the world. He tinkers the start of the season, and then when it's not going right, he fixes it. And then come January, February, after the congestion of December happens, he sorts it out. So
My thing with City is I don't think they've ever shown this level of vulnerability. I understand the argument that, they always start slow and then they just pick it up and win. Yeah, and historically they do, but this isn't the same team. It is a slightly aged team. It's not exactly the same team. They've got their best players injured. Their other best player isn't fully fit and he's aging. This isn't the same team.
Two centre-backs are out.
Exactly.
But we could look in hindsight and they've won the league for a 5th time in a row and we go, well...
That's hindsight.
Yeah, cool.
No, I know, but I'm just...
But my point is, in comparison, Liverpool have shown no vulnerabilities or weaknesses, I think, so far. And even mentally, that's a bit like...
It looks so dangerous, Liverpool.
Yeah, and teams, at the minute, teams don't fear City.
I do agree with that. Yeah,
it's funny.
Their team's a target almost.
Did you see when... City went in at half time, I thought, they're going to just go out second half and just finish Brighton off, right?
See, I didn't.
When Brighton scored,
the
whole
momentum,
momentum just switched. It was mental.
But you see,
there was only one team going to win that game.
Like that, when you're missing players like Stones and Diaz and Rodri, who are not only just like leaders and they're so good on the ball. Like when you concede that, but when you concede the goal. Players like Rodri just go, right, let's just keep the ball for 5 minutes. Let's just kill the crowd, stop the momentum, and then we can just get on the ball and
drain all enthusiasm.
Pass them to death for 5 minutes. Instead, you saw the weekend, it was like shit. Then they're giving the ball away. And players who don't usually give the ball away are just passing straight to Brighton players. And you're like, what the fuck's going on here? When you're missing so many leaders and players who keep the ball so well, it is fucking difficult to stop that momentum. And Brighton are a good team.
They are a good team.
Very good team, and obviously João Pedro came off the bench and fucking ruined my weekend. But
if we was to ask you all now, who wins the league?
We just did that.
Liverpool.
But I think it's still Man City.
Well, right now I would say Liverpool.
Yeah, no, just like how you see this. Not right now, just how you see the end of the season. If you think about where the teams are going to end up, what might happen, and then
who do you think, Lewis?
Newcastle,
Liverpool.
Yeah,
I had them second at the start, but I didn't think City would be this shit.
So I just
they do look way worse.
An annoying amount of frustration and belief in that Pep Guardiola is just going to fix it.
I just think
that's what he does.
I think
everyone keeps saying that. By
that point, mate, he might be 14 points behind.
But if they win at Anfield, then they're 2 back.
Liverpool City is huge.
No, of course, but I mean, if they do win that game, we're going to be talking about the title race completely again.
I cannot see Man City at the minute going there and winning.
Liverpool are so
which is exactly why they could do it.
But they've never done it. Pep's never won there.
No, I know. But
do you not think Liverpool have the advantage of no one expected us to be around here? Some people thought we might fall off after club, so we saw Liverpool. So they have this sort of comfortability where it's like, look,
I actually think a lot of it might be like players like Salah and Van Dijk being like a bit of a middle finger of not giving us the credit or respect. No one. What am I trying to say? Kind of like, oh, you don't think we can win the league? Fucking we'll show you, kind of thing. And they've probably got the best centre backs in the league at the minute.
Yeah,
you can't get past them, can you? Canati and Van Dijk.
Also, Salah's playing out of his skin.
Then their second goalie could start for most teams in the league. The midfielder keeping the ball well, which is obviously Slot's new system, and they've got 6 forwards who can interchange and all come on and deliver pretty much the same outcome, which is extremely useful. Oh, Diaz isn't playing well, or I'll bring Gakpo on off the left.
He's got a hat-trick midweek, Diaz, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
They always take it turns.
But they found the 6th problem that we were talking about.
Yes.
It was already in the club.
Unbelievable, yeah. He's unbelievable.
He's class, isn't it?
I just think I can't... It's Anfield as well. Villa played all right, the weekend. I thought they actually played quite well, and just Liverpool are just relentless. It's just like you make one mistake, Salah goes through, you see it's done. He's never not going to score that, and it's just even the Núñez took his goal well, considering.
Yeah, but this is the Darwin Núñez effect, right? He misses the easier one, but scores the one which is fucking. He can only
score goals when he doesn't think about it.
Yeah, so whoever said on the commentary, I thought they were right. They were like, his instinctive finishing's quite good.
Yeah, but the more he has to process it,
when he's got time, he's like, he just lamps it. But yeah, I think they're going to win the league. I think they look really, really good, Liverpool.